The Esbit cube did work. It heated up the water. Then we have some hot chocolate here. Hello everyone, this is Up Trail 71. I'm at Pictured Rocks, Michigan, and I'll be spending one night at the Cliffs Campground. It is late January, and they're predicting mid-20s for the high, upper teens for a low, with high winds and snow for tonight. So I'm going to get started on trail here. And I'll follow this trail for about 0.8 miles to the North Country Trail. The trail seems like it's well packed, so for now I'll be just using my boots, and I have my snowshoes just in case I start falling through. Right now I'm coming up to the first large hill I gotta climb. I see a little bit of running water right there. It's been very warm lately. The last 2 weeks was at least 10 degrees above average. And today's temperature is right around average, in the mid-20s. Oh, this is a neat area. Oh, this is really nice. See the water still running. A lot of ice forming on the sides. And this will be my final climb up to the top. It's very difficult this time of year because it's icy. It's actually not as bad as I thought. Last year this was all ice. 4.1 miles to Miner's Castle. I'll have about 2 3/4 miles to the campsite. And this is the first small waterfall. It is very windy up here. I'm about 150 feet up on the cliff. You can see what some of these little waterfalls look like in the winter. That's that little cave area. I stopped for a quick drink because you can get dehydrated in the winter. And I also switched hats. The other hat was getting cold, and it's an extremely strong wind coming off that lake. Now I better get back on the trail. We got about another mile and a half to go. Take a look at the ice formations on the side of that cliff. Boy, without this mask on, that wind is extremely cold in the face. This feels much better, and I can always put my other hat on if I need to. So far this is fine. Right now it's 23 degrees out, and the sustained winds are 20 miles per hour, and they say it can gust up to 30 to 35 miles per hour. You gotta remember, this lake is 200 miles across, so that's a lot of open water that the wind can blow over. And you can see the snow squalls starting to come in again. They're predicting 3 to 5 inches of snow. And this will be my favorite waterfall in this section of the trail. Oh, this is so neat. Here you can see they get very strong wind along the shoreline of Lake Superior. Look at the size of these maple trees that got blown over. Now it's got to be at least 10 feet high. Yeah, Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore is about 42 miles long. It isn't very wide, maybe anywhere from 2 miles to 6 miles wide. And the cliff area, the cliffs will run for about 25 miles. And that's my favorite. So my favorite area of Pictured Rocks is between Beaver Lake and Munising Falls. My total pack weight today is 28 pounds. And last year I went, it was 38, so I'm 10 pounds under from last year. So that's why I don't have any trekking poles today. Plus it's easier to film without them. Now that is a strong wind gust, blowing over 200 miles of open water of Lake Superior. Oh, it'd be nice to get into some trees here. Oh, look at those waves coming in on the shoreline. And now I'm coming up to what I always call my tree bench. So that means I'm very close to the campsite. And now I've reached the Cliffs campground, about 350 feet in the woods. I'll be setting up the hammock tonight. And now I've reached the Cliffs campground. I don't see any tracks anywhere, so it looks like I may be the first person that'll be camping out here this winter, again for second year in a row. I have the hammock all roughed in now. That's my new war bonnet blackbird I'm testing out tonight. I may adjust it to be a little higher yet, but it's been extremely windy and snowy. I'm using the Dutch clips up here. Catches on right where that loop is on a strap. It's adjustable right here. That's where the whoopee sling hooks on. So I have another place to adjust. You can see the fleas here on my tarp line. Those work very good. Tested it the last time. Well, I definitely got my challenge in for tonight. With the high winds, you can see it keeps loosening the tarp up, so I have to adjust it again. I have my 20-degree EE underquilt on and a 20-degree rated top quilt inside. And my pack, check the temperature. Looks like it's right around 20 degrees or maybe 21. The water's starting to get some ice in it. I'll put my pack cover on this pack to keep it drier. As you can see outside, it is snowing really hard right now. I'm attempting to boil some water with Esbit cubes. The wind is making it very difficult to keep it lit, but I finally got it going. And we have some beef stew here, Mountain House. And the water has been freezing, but I did get some water out. So let's see how this works. The Esbit cube did work. It heated up the water. Then we have some hot chocolate here. And inside here I have my Mountain House. So that should be ready in about 10 minutes. And now my beef stew looks like it's ready. I want to thank Joe from Wilderness Rocks for sending me this through night flashlight. It's a keychain style T01. And you can see how bright it is. It's 125 lumens. Works very good. And as you can tell, I'm in another snowstorm here. It's been snowing off and on hard like this for the last 2 hours. I'll put my food in a food storage box. At least keep the rodents out, or help keep the rodents out. It is now 7:30. I had the hammock all adjusted to where I want it. The underquilt's all adjusted. And I'll be testing out the new top quilt very soon. I didn't bother making a fire tonight. It was way too windy out. And I just checked the temperature on my pack, and it's 20 degrees. I'm now inside the hammock. I got my new top quilt that I'm using. It seems to be keeping me very warm so far. And it's still very windy outside and it's snowing. And I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It is day 2. Overall, I stayed warm enough. The wind made it very difficult though. The wind was extreme all night long. It's finally let up right now for a while, and they say it's supposed to get high winds again today. You see the snow has been building up in a tarp all night. It's been blowing and sticking on my bug netting. You can actually feel particles of snow coming through. So I think next time I'll use the half-foot hammock again and get a sock for it to help protect, because that would have helped a lot. As far as how the underquilt and top quilt performed, they both did very good. And you do get a couple of cold spots because of all the wind I was getting, but overall had a good night's sleep. I sleep about 4 hours at a time. And then in the middle of the night I got up once, and snow was starting to pile up on my boots underneath my hammock here. And I just brushed them off and that. And now it's time to get ready to break this hammock down. Might have a quick little breakfast and then get on the trail. It looks like my water froze a little. Froze solid actually. I'm going to take one last look around here, make sure I didn't leave anything behind. I didn't get to shoot very much video during the camping part here because there's windy most of the time and a lot of snow. And now I'm going to be getting on the trail. When I checked the temperature this morning, it was 18 degrees. And on the radio they said in town it was 15. I am now leaving the Cliffs campground, and this will be about 3¼ miles back to the parking lot. As you can see, I'm be going through some snow. It's be off and on snowstorm like this all day. At least the winds have let up some. See how high the cliffs are right here. It's right next to the Cliffs campground area. It is extremely foggy out today, so most likely I won't get very much video on the way out. And this is what my trail looks like. It's all snow covered. In some areas you can still see my tracks from yesterday. I noticed this yesterday. Someone tried making a snowman out here and the wind must have blew it over. One thing I did was I took 3 hats with me. 2 I use for outdoors and then 1 for sleeping. So that is one thing that I highly recommend everyone do that wants to do winter camping. I have now made it up to where this tree is blocking the trail. You can see most of the limbs look like they're broken off now. Last time I was here it was a little harder getting through. Of course you gotta be careful because there's the cliff right here. It's like a good 60-foot drop. I've now made it to the junction, 2.7 miles to Munising Falls, and I'll be taking a right, 0.8 miles to Sand Point. So I'll be once again going down this hill right here. And it is very steep and slippery. There, I've made it down the steepest part. And this is that small waterfall again we saw early in the video. You see all the sandstone ledge rock. And the trail continues on in that direction. This is a very steep part of the hill. Not as bad as the other one. It'll take a little bit of time to get down it. It may be a little cold in winter, but this is the part I like the most. Just look how beautiful it is going through the woods with the snow. The sun is now trying to come out for the first time, but now I'm almost back to the trailhead. And I want to thank everyone for coming along with me on my January winter backpacking trip at Pictured Rocks, Michigan. And the high temperature I saw on this trip was 25 and the low got down to 18 with some very high winds. Now you gotta read this. I am now back at the trailhead. You see how that snowbank is blocking a sign, so you couldn't even tell where the trail was from out there. But I saw this little tiny trail right here. And my truck is still there with some snow on it. And once again, thanks for watching Up Trail 71.